looked at the trial run and it seems to be pretty good. It automatically loaded to YouTube. So yeah. Right now it has no views, but it's pretty early. So yeah, if I stop talking, it's probably because I'm talking to my girlfriend. Yeah, but at that time, X, you can probably take over some wording stuff if I stop talking for a little bit to keep the video a little bit more interesting.
Me? Nah.
Hey, you know you can do it.
Like a boss lagged out. Do 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 do. Let's see, get Laka back. There we go. That way if he lagged out, if he wants to come back, he can jump back in. Beast, you went quiet again.
What's up?
Not much. Sorry, I just caught the message that you had lagged out.
Nah, it's cool.
So, Beast is most likely reading a text message from his girlfriend right this moment.
No, I was talking into my phone. I didn't want my subscribers to...
Oh, you didn't want to share your most intimate private details with all your subscribers?
No.
Well, at least you didn't share the broccoli issue.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. By the way, boss, the first broadcast, aka live stream, is up on YouTube. So.
Oh, alright. I'll go and subscribe to it.
Yeah, and like I double checked it myself, and it is at least
40 some odd minutes, yeah.
Yeah. No, like the video itself is only like 12 minutes and 34 seconds long, but whenever I get into the actual broadcast, it changes to like 40 something minutes. I don't know why. I mean, it probably it's probably repeating or something like that.
Odds are. I think it does it in like 15-minute increments, but...
Well, someone's playing GTA.
That's me.
Yeah.
I would play GTA, but they piss me off.
Mm-hmm. Some of these dark oak trees are partially blown up because we had a little fun with TNT yesterday, I think what it was.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, that's why I hadn't been on GTA in a while, boss, because basically I tried to transfer my character over when I got my PS4 back in February, and they basically told me to go F myself. I'm like...
That's shitty.
They basically said because I transferred my character over to the Xbox One, I can't transfer it over to the PS4.
Oh, that's shitty.
Yeah, but of course it took them 3 months to get that answer to me, because first, they told me it was already done. Second, they told me I was lying. Third, they told me I was stealing stuff from them. And then finally, they gave me that final answer. I'm like, okay, well that's somewhat along the lines of the first one they gave me, but they just couldn't explain as to... Because I was asking them and telling them, like, look, I hadn't transferred anything over, and you're telling me I have. I'm like, that's not what happened.
Yeah, that's just bullshit.
So, yeah, they basically penalized me because I have, well, that's,
Xbox.
well, that's yeah. But basically, yeah, because I'm multi-platforming, they basically told me there's nothing they can do. I'm like, well, fine then. I will refuse to play any game that you guys make in the future. So basically, if it's them, 2K Games, Take-Two, I'm basically not playing any of their games from this point forward until they... Oh yeah, Rockstar's. I don't play them anymore. So, I mean, because the only thing I was wanting was to get the character I had been playing for 2 years over to the system I was currently playing on, and they basically just said no. I'm like, I'm not going to take another 2 years to build my character back up to where it was, just because you guys are penalizing me for owning more than one system.
If anything,
like,
they should want you to have more than one system.
Oh yeah, I've already bought, between the number of copies I bought from my friends and for my other systems, I've bought at least 10 copies of the game itself. I'm like, and when you figure it about $50 a pop for each one of the games,
and that's depending on when you buy them. Like, if it's like brand new, that's like almost $70.
Yeah, it's pretty much brand new. Yeah, I'm like, but $50 average after the first year, after the initial price came out. But I'm like, you can figure on a minimum of at least $500 on the copies of the games that I've spent with them, and for them to tell me that there's nothing they can do for me, I'm like, yeah, that's just poor customer service, and I don't do business with people that give me poor customer service. Like, that's just the way it is. So now I've got 4 copies of the game sitting here, 5 copies technically, so I got 2 for the PS3, and I just don't use them. They're just collecting dust right now. So I was going to get it for the PC as well, so that way I could have more fun on the PC, but yeah, they ruined the experience. So that's why Justin hasn't been on either. We've just been playing different games.
Until they actually give you the character, I'm not playing either.
Well, Devil Child's not playing on there either.
I keep hearing you say Justin, and I'm thinking you're talking about me.
X, you're supposed to say Beast for me.
No,
because I mean, we do have more than one Justin in here.
That's true, Beast. That's true.
Well, there's a voice I ain't heard in a while.
Oh my God, same for you.
Wait, who
How you
joined?
doing, bud? Nobody joined.
Really?
I stole a mic from my kid.
I know.
Got a new account.
You don't. Which one?
It's Da Urban Cowboy. DA Urban Cowboy.
You probably should.
Happening.
You guys probably should send that in a message. So my
well,
YouTube
I saw
people.
Cowboy was on
YouTube reasons,
something like that.
Because you don't want, like, I don't know how many people send you friends requests going, hey, you know,
not in a party?
Beast.
Well, we've been experimenting with the live broadcast right now for his YouTube channel.
Oh.
Let me get that on there and stuff, because I mean, yeah, I ain't gamed with you in ages, Cowboy.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, he told me he was talking to you. I'm like, yeah, really? He just handed me the mics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see,
So,
like I was telling him, I haven't been playing Rockstar games right now since they pissed me off. I mean, they told me because I have multiple platforms. Well, pissed is not a bad word.
Just saying.
Right.
So,
I'm making sure you know before you go any further.
But yeah, I mean, I basically, because I own multiple platforms, they told me because I transferred my PS3 character once to my Xbox One, they were refusing to let me do it to my PS4. So I couldn't transfer my PS3 character to that account I've been playing. I couldn't transfer that over to my PS4.
Yeah.
Of course, it took them 3 months to actually get me that answer when I originally raised it to them in February of this year. They basically told me, already had been done, nothing they can do. I asked for which account had been transferred into what system. They didn't give me any response. They just said it had been transferred, couldn't do it. Then they called me a liar, saying that it's already been transferred and that I'm lying that I hadn't transferred the character yet. Then they basically told me that I was stealing from them, and they weren't going to do anything for me because I was stealing from them. I'm like, well, fine, if whatever I stole, take it back. I just want to play my character I've been playing for 2 years.
Right.
And then finally they told me, oh, because you transferred it to the Xbox One, you can't use it on the PS4. You can only do it once, period. Not per system, period. I'm like, well, I wish you had explained that to me a little bit in advance, then I would have been more discretion as to which one I was transferring over. I just wanted to play my same character on my systems I was playing, no matter which. It's the same character I've been developing for 2 years, and they basically told me I was just out of luck.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, so that's why I stopped playing Rockstar, 2K, and Take-Two games, is the fact that I'm like, they're all affiliated together, and because their customer service was not the best of what it should have been. Oh yeah, well,
less than satisfactory.
Less than satisfactory is well put. But the fact I've bought 10 copies of the game, which if you just average $50 a pop per game, I mean that's $500 worth of business right there I've done on one game of theirs. That's not counting the stuff like Red Dead, Bully, stuff like this on other games that they've developed that I've
Sorry about that, guys.
previously purchased. But the fact that they don't care about my business in general, I'm like, well, fine then. If you don't want my business, I will not play any of your games ever again.
I'm like, so Justin, when you get to someone who's got $1 billion corporation, your $500 becomes a drop in the bucket, and you become insignificant. They only care about the big numbers, and one person doesn't matter. And then it goes.
Yes,
to their
but see that. Yeah, and that's what that problem. That's the problem that they have, is they don't realize that one person does matter. One person equals basically about $1 million worth of business throughout their lifetime, which means anything in the future that they're going to do now, instead of spending another $500 on their next game, and then on their next game after that, and their next game after that for the next 50, 60 years, now they've lost all that business. And now not only have they lost that business, they've lost potentially new business. When I tell my experience to other people that I've had, they're like, well, why do I want to deal with these people if they're going to do it? They've lost Devil Child, they've lost Justin, they've lost myself.
Yeah, they lost me, Devil Child, and you. So
yeah,
that and
just out of one experience.
Say if all that money that's multiplied by 3 just from us 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, so the fact that it's doing that, and they're like, they really don't care. I'm like, so I don't feel like doing business with people that really just don't care about you as a person. They lost that. I keep getting this, oh well, their customer service is great and they do all this stuff. I'm like, I got people I know that are gaming that lie to them and get billions of dollars that they never earned from Rockstar directly. I've watched them do it. But yeah,
by the way, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I am counting my lights because somewhere I messed up.
Yeah, I'm like, but then on his world that we're doing, we're Minecraft right now.
Okay. Man, I tell you what, I was playing the one day, and I sat there, and I've got this floating castle in the sky that I built. And I took, and out behind it, I used a whole bunch of redstone, and I built a dance floor that is synchronized to, it's all covered, it's all lights. And the whole thing rapidly, you know, I've got lights flashing through it in sequence under the floor.
Ah, yes, nice.
Just something to play with.
Are you watching my video too, X?
No, negative. I was actually sending cowboy request.
Yeah. Because right now there's like, I think 2 people watching or something. I think one's myself though.
You're watching yourself.
I'm making sure the video's playing properly.
Right.
And plus, I don't think I can see text messages on, well, the messages on my screen. So.
I'm like, but yeah, I mean, honestly, that's why I've been playing Rockstar. So we've been focusing on Fallout, Destiny, Minecraft, which kind of I don't enjoy, because I did want to go and get their remake of, well, not their remake, but their remastered edition of Bully, because I enjoyed that game on the PlayStation and stuff. But I'm like, it's a Rockstar game, so I'm just not buying it. I can refrain. So, and if they want to double check, they can look on their stuff. Since February, I haven't touched the game. I'm like, other than to log on their social service to send multiple complaints or requests for service, nothing.
Right.
So I'm like, it really disappointed me.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, man.
Yeah. Like, cause I mean, a lot of my current PlayStation friends that I had, I met them on Grand Theft, and they still play the game.
Yeah. So, speaking of one.
Yeah. So. You don't happen to have a copy of Destiny by any chance, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh.
No, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Well-
because we're trying to find enough of
good
our
news,
friends
X. I mean,
that actually...
since we figured out about the broadcasting live streaming stuff. By the way, it's been over 15 minutes. But since
Sweet.
we figured out the broadcasting stuff, that means I can go over to Fallout and stuff like that and show them my world, and I can most likely show them yours
Aye.
and see the difference and stuff
What?
like that.
Share. Like we can't go and jump into a public lobby on Minecraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't load into one of your other friends' world unless you're in the same place.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, like we've done it, but we had to have both PlayStations sitting here connected through a LAN.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least with this one, we can share play, so at least you can go in and see what we're doing. And if I gave you player control, then you'd have, what is it? I think it's like 15 or 20 minutes that you can actually play in the world by itself. If I stepped away and went to do something, like to go get something to eat or something, I'm like, so that part was actually pretty cool, which let me play this system a little bit more than the Xbox One, because it had a few more options that were a little more user friendly. The fact that they got the party chat thing finally, where I don't have to be in the same game to talk to my friends, even better.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. That's the one thing that PS3 should have done, is make it so you can still talk to people playing different games.
Oh yeah, I mean Xbox did that for a long time.
Really? I didn't know that. The only problem
Yeah.
with it is that if you're trying to cooperate with somebody on something, and you've got a party with, say it's a full party, you got 8 members in there, and between you, you're running 3 and 4 different games, it's really hard to keep up with who's talking about what and who's playing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the plus that you can mute a few people here and there while you're doing something important, then you can do that, and that's okay.
Right.
Because I ran into the same issue on the 360. Because Xbox used to do that, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed it. We could be playing multiple games, different versions or different campaigns, and still be chatting with each other. And this helped out Devil Child on several missions, because I'm running the mission, he's running the mission on a different system.
Yeah.
And he's getting stuck, and I can sit there and go back to where he is and just walk him basically right through the mission to where he needs to be. So stuff like that was nice.
Yeah. So,
I just have to dial it down. I can't be as crude as I normally am.
Oh, see, that sucks. I was going to call you so that what we're saying is not on, not out there in the open, but,
Well, it'll be fine. Because, I mean, as long as you guys keep it, like, PG, I mean, I don't, like, at least my people will know what we're going through.
What I needed to speak
Seriously.
on is something best left private.
Yeah.
X, you know how I've always ran, and all I was going to say is that if you wanted to join those leagues, at least I would be able to help you. To be able to not have to worry about what they took away from you.
Yeah. I actually debated about that. I got a buddy of mine who said, yeah, I can get you basically an account with billions of dollars and your levels back. I'm like, is appealing as that is, and I would enjoy going back and playing and having all my stuff. The same fact, it's not the same character. I mean, it's same levels. I can make it look the same. I can make it be the same, but it's just not the same character.
I understand, and it's not the one that you've poured your time and energy into.
Yeah. I'm
So
like, because I mean, oh yeah, because I don't get rid of any of my games, whether they're bad games, good games, whatever. I don't get rid of any of them. My files I keep for years, and I've gone back to play old Xbox games and stuff like this that I've had characters built on, and this would be 5 years after the date. Just go back and play the games, just for some memories and stuff like that, to remember the game itself and have some fun with it again. And having those characters that you developed are still there was wonderful.
Right.
Because that was one thing I enjoyed about the 360 was they eventually added that backwards compatibility. I could play Xbox games on my 360. I'm like, and I enjoyed that because that meant my entire library I had of what was it, I think like 400 games, something like that. I was all of a sudden able to add to my 360, which was already at like something like 300 or 400 games. So I mean, it basically brought my games up to like 800 different games I could play on the system itself. The Xbox One is now getting something like that, where if you have the game discs for certain games, you can plug it in there and you can actually play the backwards compatibility then on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But because it's a work in progress and they have to get the games into the system so they can do that, they don't have the full library up yet, but every month they keep putting out more and more games, so they start with, of course, the most popular ones, and then they work from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I did enjoy that. But one of the things I disliked about the Xbox One was the way they kind of went over almost to like a Windows 10 type version, different screens. Now, I like the fact you can do different things at once. But I still held on to the fact that if you want a true good game system, PS4 is going to be a great game system. If you want something that's going to be an all-in-one entertainment system that kind of get those games as well, then the Xbox One's perfect. That's proven to hold true so far. I'm like, graphic-wise, play-wise, stuff like this, virtually no difference between the two that I can physically see. Spec-wise, I think the front side bus helped out with the different RAM that they used. Yeah, because one used, I think, like a DDR3 RAM, stuff like this, and so the front side bus had a higher refresh rate on there, which allowed for that difference with the RAM, so you could still maintain the same speeds that the other system was pushing. But most of the other stuff, processor-wise, graphics-wise, stuff like that, was pretty much all the same. Mm-hmm. So
Right.
the fact that they're both still subscription-based, like the fact that the subscriptions themselves carry over between the PS3 and the Xbox, between their old systems and their new systems, still the same. I'm like, it's just I've been doing this because of the use for and the ability for us to now chat like we did on the 360. I can now do that here on the PS4 and enjoy the better graphics and the smoother games.
Mm-hmm.
And since not all of my friends have converted over to Xbox One yet, most of my PS3 friends have already converted over to PS4. This made the obvious sense of which game system now gets priority when I play. And the fact that Beast calls me every day if I'm not on. He's like, when you jumping on, fool? I'm at work. That's no excuse. So, but because I saw you on the little while ago. I'm like, crap. I'm like, I think it was your old account that you had, because I think it said Cowboy that was on. So I think it was your old account that was on there.
You might have seen. No, I mean, if it popped up for yours, then maybe somehow or another that account accidentally got logged into. But I haven't been on my old account today because it's broke. I ain't got no money in it. That's why I'm on my new one. It's set up the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
But my old account, I haven't been on, I don't think, in, say, maybe 2 weeks.
Well, we did find out, Beast did, because Beast has one subscription, but has multiple accounts on his PlayStation. They said if you had them all set as primary, that you could still run them all off the same subscription. So even if you had your old account as well, once you did that, if you had it as a primary on your system as well, then you should technically be able to run both your new and your old accounts off the same subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And not buy one for each one.
But the problem, you can. We've only got
Now
one
the only
subscription
drawback
on
is some DLC stuff will not transfer. Some.
Yeah.
It depends on the game and the DLC and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if the DLC stuff transfers through a third-party server, then I think you're okay. But if it's done through the PlayStation server, I think it may not, because then it's based on the system itself that the DLC is installed on. So, like the ones for Fallout, once you've got that in there, I think that one would do okay.
I haven't really tried the Fallout one yet.
That's right. He's just looking right now.
I don't.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't hear your friend. Like a boss. Like in the video, I can't hear your friend.
Oh well, he probably doesn't have. He probably doesn't have the broadcast for share broadcast or anything like that. That would be
Well,
probably
see,
be why.
that's perfect. Because if I can't be heard in the video, that means I can say what I need to say and don't gotta worry about it.
Precisely. Yeah, because if your broadcast isn't set, or if your audio isn't set to share broadcasting, then you won't be heard in the videos. Beast and I found that out because I was doing some test on the Fallout 4 videos. I couldn't hear him, but I could hear myself. So because you had to set up, I think you had to set up your audio and broadcast in there so that way you could have your voice chat in there as allowed, and then yeah, but then Voss let us know that you had to have everyone in the party set to share broadcast, otherwise you won't hear everyone in the party. Anyone that's not set to share broadcast won't be allowed to be recorded. They won't record them. Which is actually pretty useful information.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if, like, my girl said that she thinks she can hear you, but I don't know. Like, I have my laptop down low, and you could just not be talking loud enough for me to pick it up. And you also have to think I do have my headphones in.
I think the only other way around that is if you are getting, if they were talking to me, I'm set to share broadcast, I have my TV up loud enough and they can hear it through my TV, I guess then technically they could hear them, because then they're technically not being recorded directly but indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of the only way around it, but yeah, we started up a new, we basically have a god world that we started on the PS3. So it's going with Greek mythology for Minecraft. We built a whole world based along these lines. Created gods that were in there that were in creative mode. We had mortals in there to live and do whatever they wanted to do. And now we're recreating the world now on the PS4. So, and it's going to get recreated one final time once we get our PCs up and running. Once those are up and running, the PS4 version, I believe Justin and I decided on, okay, if you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel, then we let you in on that world. Now the PS3 version, I've transferred over to the PS4 as well, and when we play that version, then of course, any friend can be in on that version. And then once we go over to PC, then that'll actually be a subscription-based service, because then we'll have a private server that we're running, and we got to make sure that everything's going to be up and running, and that's going to cover costs for that. So.
Fail.
Alright. Okie doke, not a problem. Precisely. That's right. That's what.
Hey,
yeah,
PG.
that's pretty much what Justin and I do on a. Hey, he's can't be recorded. Remember, he's not shared broadcast.
I don't know. I don't know. My girl said that she thinks she can hear him. So just keep it PG just in case.
Hey, what's up, Devil? We're in the middle of a record. What's up? Nothing. Nothing. So. Okie doke. My dogs will let me know when you get here. Okie doke. Peace. Yeah, it was just DC. I had ordered some stuff online for him and his family, so. Me, I'm located in Florida, I think. Is close to
You
you.
think you live in Florida?
Well, no, I think it's close to him.
Yeah,
Well, that's, for me, that's close.
Yeah, guys, don't go into too detail about where you live or anything like that.
Yeah, that's why I said stay. Yeah. Yeah. Unless you want us to go deeper. Hey, it wasn't. That was a suggestive comment. It wasn't a direct me dirty comment.
X.
I'm just saying that technically is PG. I mean, Mike Myers did it in The Cat in the Hat, so it's legal. That's the beauty of things. Yeah, I received it. Yeah. Right. I'll send you the text real quick, so that way you got it. Yeah, because I'm trying to get everything all together, so that way I got all the stuff. I mean, because right now I'm pretty much only working on Fridays and Saturdays. The rest of the days I'm spent finding a new job online, running miscellaneous errands and stuff like that. And
Yeah, the YouTube is like 11 seconds behind. So
for the broadcast itself.
yeah, because like I see like my entire PlayStation screen is on the YouTube, so like it says like the ellipse time and stuff like that, and my ellipse time is different from the YouTube ellipse time because it's like 11 seconds behind, give or take.
There you go. She got a text message now. Yep.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. That's right. I'm like, Cowboy understood. That's right, we can be suggestive. Suggestive is okay. Flat out dirty's not allowed. And I'm nothing if not suggestive. You ask my coworkers. Oh my goodness. Talk about a bunch of people turning red in the face.
Mm-hmm. By the way, girl, if you're still watching, now you're starting to understand what I was saying last night. If you think I'm bad.
Oh. Wait, that's not bad. Once again, suggestive's not bad. Suggestive's just funny.
Yeah, but still.
Ask any comedian. It's funny. Ask any 5-year-old. They'll agree. That's funny. That's why fart noises are funny. Especially when girls do them. Can't help it. We get one girl at work, she starts to squeeze the squirt bottle and it just goes we can't help but not laugh. We just have to laugh. They're like, they expect that to come from me. I'm a guy. They don't expect it to come from her. I know, when she starts to go
It's even worse when the Family Feud did it. It's even worse when Family Feud does it, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love watching the Family Feud ones. Man, you get some people on there that are, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know how they managed to miss that. I'm like, come on now. We should have caught this in like a pre-game interview or something that this was going to go on. Steve Harvey. Oh yeah, Steve Harvey is funny. Yeah, if nothing, if just for those random remarks that he throws his hands up in the air and says, "I can't believe you just said that." I'm like, yes. I'm
This
like,
is supposed to be a family game show.
I know. Or suggestive. The funny part is when they the funny part is when they answer some messed up question with a messed up answer, and it's actually on the board. And they're like, ah. Yes. Some of us already knew this though. For the rest of them, welcome to the reality. That's right.
Alright, well, I'm going to, like, at an hour eclipse time, I am going to, make that my live stream limit for the Minecraft, at least. Because, I mean, they're basically only watching, listening to us talk and me digging.
Wait, what? Let's dig into this. How are you digging?
What?
Let's dig into this a little deeper. Why are you digging?
To build my, foundation wall.
Yes.
Yeah, I did figure out what was wrong. I didn't actually mess up my count, I just extended my, my other part a little too much.
Actually, I was just leading them to this next question. So, if you build it, will they come?
Who knows?
Yes.
Hey, gray areas are funny.
See, those of us who are old enough to know the movie.
Wait.
Nah, the PS4 maps are like the large ones are 25 times the size of the PS3 maps. Oh yeah, we know that part, yeah. Yeah, but that's just coincidental. It's near lava. Well, usually usually with it being within lava, it's because it's in an open space, and that's why it's kind of by lava.
YouTube gaming requires third-party cookies.
It doesn't necessarily spawn. It doesn't spawn it by lava directly. It spawns it randomly in there, but because of the cave system, we can see more open area, more surface area. Then that's usually why we find it. Oh yeah. Well, once again, it only goes because it would be the same thing. You could replace the lava with, say, water in there and kind of get the same general synopsis of it, because of the surface area that is now being exposed gives you a greater chance of finding. That's the theory around it. Continuously, yeah. Hey, consistent finding is always a plus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't. Yes, they slowly been starting to patch up some of those. I'm upset they got rid of the X-ray glitches because those were kind of fun.
Yeah.
That made exploring for caves a little bit easier, and that, like, it didn't always show me resources, but it definitely showed me cave systems that I could explore that I hadn't. I'm like, I had to go with the actual original method of using ender pearls to find the end portal in this god world. Like that kind of sucked. I mean, 25 maps. I had to sit there and go through, I think, 2 maps to actually find it. I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, I was hoping, I honestly was hoping, that the end portal would spawn near center map. And in a way, it was close to center map, but it was kind of like a map next to center map. I'm like, but the fact that it was there means that it doesn't necessarily spawn in center map, so future worlds it may spawn 2 or 3 maps away from center. I don't know. I'll have to load up more massive worlds and test that one out. But yeah, it's.
See, I would put my phone on vibrate, guys, but I probably won't be able to feel it or hear it. Obviously, I won't
Why?
be able
Are
to
you
hear
numb
it.
down there?
No. It's just that she texts quite a bit, and like I wouldn't really be able to feel it depending on where it is.
Well, you might have more fun if it was on vibrate though.
Well, it does both vibrate and sound right now. But if I only put on vibrate, I won't be able to hear it.
The suggestive nature on there was being caught by a few and ignored by others. I know Justin was deliberately ignoring it. I have gamed with him enough to know when he's just trying to leave a subject alone and not egg it on. But yeah. I know. It's strange that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so do different girls. Yeah. They don't sound the same. That's right. Sometimes very fast and very repetitively.
You guys are having way too much fun with this.
Well, you said we couldn't be. You said we couldn't be dirty, but not suggestive. So we're keeping it PG. Until you say otherwise. PG-13 is still it still has PG in there. Woohoo! I am staring at a whole lot of hardness over here.
I'm going up a really steep mountain with my digging.
Yeah. Are you gonna call them your Grand Tetons?
Maybe.
Is there a pair of mountains over there that you're scaling?
No, it seems
Are
like...
they really, really big, or are they more like little hills? Yeah, I know. All I know is if you find a nice cave, let me know so I can go spelunking with you. I told him if you found a nice cave, let me know so I can go spelunking. No, don't let go. You gotta hold on tight with both hands and never let go.
Jack, don't let go.
No, don't let go. Actually, I was thinking more a Scary Movie if you remember that one, in the freezer. I'm dying here. Oh, I'll never let go. Are you sure you didn't? I know. If I'm sure of something, that probably makes me wrong. Well, I take it back. I am sure of one thing. I do know I like women. And I do know I can't go any more perverted than that because we're still keeping it PG. Until Beast tells me I can now go X-rated.
Oh, hey, HE double hockey sticks, no. I will never allow you to go that on here.
Oh, no, not on the broadcast, no. When you say I can go X-rated again, that means we're not broadcasting. Then the world opens up and the fun really begins. Hence a hint to the subscribers. You definitely want to be a subscriber so that way you can jump online with us and catch the X-rated fun.
Whenever I'm not broadcasting.
That's right.
Now the
Funny
real question
stuff,
is
boys
for
and girls.
them, what type of X rating is it?
Well, see, they have to be a subscriber to find out. You've got to entice them. Of course, see, this message by now they probably jumped off because they're like, this is boring. And then they get that right after they jump off. I'm like, haha, that's what you get for not watching the full video. That's right. If there's no perk for it, how's it going to stand up? That's right.
It all depends on how she handles it.
I don't care that she never handles things as well as I handle things. For myself. Let me rephrase that one before it got worse. Yes. And still PG-13.
Mostly.
Like, what are they talking about handling things for? Like,
We're talking about
because it's great.
handlebars.
That's right. Really, dog? You gonna crawl out under the bed now?
See, I just think it's funny how, like, the PG-13 movies and stuff like that, how, like, they give really strong hints about it. Even, like, kids shows, like SpongeBob and stuff like that.
Shoot.
How, like, they
SpongeBob's
supposedly are
horrible for the stuff.
PG, but that's assuming that the
Wait,
kids are
SpongeBob's
not...
PG? I thought that was more of like a G rating or something.
Or whatever. It's still below PG, and yet they are actually really bad at making sexual jokes if you actually know them.
Hey, innuendo is not direct dirtiness. Yeah, but as far as the Motion Picture Association goes, innuendo is not dirty. It may be inappropriate at times. Precisely. That would be more FCC, I would think.
No, I can't tell you how many times, like, SpongeBob has gave hints to some sort of inappropriate kids show.
Inappropriate kids show?
Well, adult show, not kids show. Poor wording on my side.
Oh, yeah. Well, you should have seen it when it was suggested that Squidward was watching tentacle adult films. Yeah. That was hysterical. I know. Yeah. Yeah, they did. It was hysterical.
Still awake? Or are you passed out? Because it doesn't seem like you're getting a lot of air, dog.
What are you doing to your little girl now?
No! Oh, since y'all couldn't hear me... since they couldn't hear me in the other videos, my mom rescued a pit bull, and so now we are foster caring the pit bull up until we can find a new home for it.
Oh, guess what? You guys found a new home for it. It's yours.
Yeah, knowing my mom. The people even said that she's going to be a failed dog foster house because she's going to get attached to the dogs and stuff like that.
Some people are foster parents, others are adoptive parents.
Yeah, my mom's more of adopted.
I was gonna say, if she's a doc, does she want to play doctor with me?
X.
PG, it's still PG-13. I had a tickle in my throat and she had to check it out.
I thought it was a tickle in her throat. I thought you were playing doctor, and it was a tickle in her throat.
Right. I was wondering if he was going to catch on to that. I knew someone would catch on to this eventually. Because I know the type of people I hang out with online, and we all have a similar thought process.
Yeah, but to go a little bit more on the dog, though, her name's Sandy.
Really?
Her name's Sandy, and the original owner had her and I think about it was like 5 or 6 other dogs all living in a car. All the other dogs were in cages except for her when she was found on top of the cages. So yeah.
Wait, we're all...
But all the other people... All the other people
referred to generally
were,
as a puppy mill.
Yeah.
Wait, now the question was, the ones in cages, were they all boys? If so, why were the boys being the ones being punished?
The funny thing is, like, most of the dogs were all pit bulls. Almost all of them were pit bulls.
Well, yeah, because if you get certain colorations of pit bulls, blues, red, stuff like this, depending on the region too, brindles can be very popular too. But generally, if you get a rust-colored or a blue-colored pit bull, then they can generally sell for anywhere between $600.
No, he wasn't selling them; he was keeping them. Because supposedly every dog had a story for why. Like, every dog you had supposedly had a story why he had to keep them and stuff like that. Some of them he was going these two need to stay together because they're bonded and stuff like that. And he actually tried to do that with Sandy. And a lot of the people were having issues trying to get her out of the vehicle too. But my mom sat there and talked to Sandy, and eventually Sandy ended up coming out with my mom. So,
so both Sandy and your mom came out?
So,
they did.
So, Sandy ended up creating a bond with my mom, and my mom created a bond with Sandy, so now my mom has Sandy.
This is not helping the conversation.
Yeah.
For half a second.
Well, I'm trying to listen to you guys talk and try not to interrupt you guys, and it's not really working because you guys are loudmouths.
Yes.
And then I'm trying to go more to the story, and then you guys continue interrupting me.
Yep. Yeah, but it sounds like more that he was more along the animal hoarder side than a puppy mill.
He was.
Puppy mills are generally breeders and stuff like that. Animal hoarders think that they're doing the animals a favor by keeping so many together.
Like
the
cops
doing them a disservice.
The cops that were originally there, they said that he was allowed to keep 4 dogs, and all the other ones had to go. No, he was only allowed to keep 4, but all the dogs were supposedly getting fed human food and stuff like that. And like my mother and I, we tried feeding Sandy like dog food, but she was she wasn't eating. So that leads me to the assumption that leads me to the assumption that he only fed them human food and no dog food at all. And she didn't want to bone.
That's what it sounds like. Because generally, if they haven't had, yeah.
I mean, I literally had to like put the food in front of her face, so she could smell it. She started taking nibbles. It took me a little bit, but she eventually started to eat the dog food. She didn't eat a lot, but she did.
Well, it's going to be one of those hard love type situations. If you don't force them to eat it, they're going to hold out as long as they can till they get what they want. And unfortunately, human food for pet dogs is kind of like chocolate. I'm like, yeah, it tastes great, you can live off it, but it doesn't do your body good.
And it doesn't help how they weren't getting exercise, because she's a pretty big dog.
Yeah, but she actually doesn't look too overweight. When the picture I saw of her, she doesn't look like she's obese. She's on the stockier side, but she also doesn't look like she's one of the pit bull terriers. She looks like she's more along one of the other types of bully breeds of the pit bulls. So, because I mean, her head looks beefy and meaty. So, different. I mean, I sent your mom a pic of Charlie Brown, my pit bull terrier, and he's more skinny, lanky, tall, kind of supermodel leggy type deal. He's not that short, stocky bully breed used for hunting type deal. And that's what Sandy kind of looks like. She's along that line. I know they have gotcha. But I think that's what it is for her. So the good news with that, it means with some good exercise, she'll keep the body fat down. She'll be able to get back to a good, healthier state. And that's kind of what you want to do for her. And if you use her like I'm using my Charlie Brown right now, since he's going through that rehab for his legs, for his ACL, I'm using him as an excuse to get more exercise. Like, because I gotta walk him. I gotta make sure he gets his exercise for his legs so it recovers. I'm like, so if you do the same thing for Sandy for weight loss, you can get her on routine exercise routine, and this is going to do two things for her. One, it's going to help keep her a little bit more in shape, and two, it's going to give her a way of burning off some excess energy so she doesn't go into a destructive behavior type deal, because pit bulls are very intelligent, and when they get bored, they can sometimes cause destruction to their environments. So if you give them a creative outlet to burn off some energy, they're much more behaved. So, and you want to keep up a routine. If you keep up a steady routine, like you walk them every few days or something like that, they'll get into the swing of the routine, and they'll come to anticipate that routine, and any changes in there, they'll notice. So this is always a plus, because that means they're very intelligent, easy to train, and generally very, very friendly animals. The people who argue this, of course, still go along the lines of, well, they're pit bulls and they can tear your throat out and all this other stuff. I'm like, granted, yeah, that's true, but so can a lot of large breed dogs. It's just because of the size of the dog itself.
Which is one thing what my mom is misinterpreting. She's seeing dogs as like the pit bulls as like a really hostile breed and stuff like that. Which, given that's what they're used for, but not all the time.
That's not what they're used for, though. That's actually not what they're used for. They're family and hunting dogs for the most part. The
more gangsters end up using them for hostile reasons, as like guard dogs and stuff like that. And
yeah, that's only because they can basically do that with any hunting dog, though. I mean, if you're looking at Rottweilers, you're looking at German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, all these are good service animals that are good at defense for their owners and their property and stuff like this. But I mean, pit bulls are actually not as aggressive as you think, and those who argue the point, the simple fact is you can take a look at it. A lot of people still remember the issue with Michael Vick and his pit bulls. The fact is that a majority, I want to say almost, I might be getting the number wrong, but a majority, over 3/4 of the animals that person had for fight dogs, for actual fights, for dog fights, at least 75% of those dogs were rehabilitated into a family environment, which means even in an environment where they were forced to fight each other constantly, they still became a loving family pet when given that chance, which speaks loudly of the breed itself. But people don't see this, and the media sensationalizes the breed for its negativity.
Well, my mom was a veterinarian, and she said more than one case where a pit bull just suddenly turned on the family.
Well, it's not a sudden thing. It's an issue thing. I hear the same things. My pit bull attacked my baby. I'm like, well, what was your baby doing? You left your
And
baby
that's what I'm
unmonitored,
going on.
playing in the dog's food dish when you knew the dog already had food aggressive tendencies because of its personal nature, not the breed nature, personal nature now. And then when the baby or the kid got up into the dog's personal space, into their own food dish that was theirs, it defended itself and defended its property and attacked the invading person. Now, because of this, the dog's wrong. I'm like, well, what happened to the parental control, the parental supervision that was supposed to be there, knowing your dog doesn't like people in his food dish and not breaking pets of the behavior to begin with? I'm like, Charlie Brown, my baby, he has the potential for food aggression. The potential for it. He likes his food, he likes to hover over it and protect it. But every time he does so, I immediately correct his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So the Chihuahua can get up in there, any person can get up in there and stick their hand, stick their face
And yes,
into
guys,
that food
I know
dish.
it's been over an hour. I'm just finishing up what I'm doing, and then the broadcast is going to stop.
I'm like, but I have put my face into that dog's food dish while he's eating, and he gives me a look, a stink eye, like he's not happy with it, but he doesn't do anything about it. I have literally sat there and grabbed a hold of his rawhide that was in his mouth with my own teeth and pulled it directly out of his mouth, and he won't do anything about it. Now, some may argue it's because he recognizes me as an alpha male and stuff like this. That may very well be. I'm like, but the same thing is you have to assert yourself over them so they know you are the alpha. You can't let them rule the roost. If you let a dog put ownership on you,
it's literally the same thing of having the dog
it.
walk you not walk it, and stuff like that.
Precisely.
Because by your dog pulling you, that's saying that the dog is the alpha and not you.
Yeah, because the dog's leading and he's not following. Now he's become a leader, not a follower. And as funny as it sounds, Cesar Millan has promoted this for years, and he's got his theory and logic is sound. It goes down to basic animal instincts and stuff like this. If they're not being led, then they're going to take on the instinct that they need to lead. And this is the problem that most people have. Well, they're my baby. I don't want to do this to them because it's cruel or it's mean. I'm like, no, it's cruel or mean not to give them the discipline that they need. If you had a kid, you'd make sure that they were disciplined and taught and brought up properly. Same thing for a dog.
Which is a problem nowadays, going on that subject. It is actually a problem nowadays because with the stupid government making a law about being more enforcing on what you can do to your children, and they are
that's only to limit the excessive.
Yeah, but now a kid ends up having a little bruise or something like that going to school, and like the mother or father barely even hit them. Like they're like soft freaking skin and getting bruised easily and stuff like that. Now it's the mother's and father's fault. And even if they end up going, well, they just bruise easy and I was just disciplining them, and then it's still like a big issue, and it's like, no, I'm just doing regular discipline.
Yeah.
And they end up going to jail for freaking child abuse, and it's wrongfully
not necessarily jail, but they do
accused.
But they do wind up getting investigated for it. Now, this is the difference. I mean, at least in Florida that I've seen. I mean, yes, you'll get investigated if they show up with unusual marks and stuff like this. Then the schools and stuff will report it to like Department of Child Family Services. They'll come out, they'll investigate real quick. But most of the times, and 90% of the cases I've seen so far, it's warranted and no legal penalties come up against the parents. I'm like, because it was warranted. It wasn't an excessive. You're not sitting there looking there and having 20 different bruises and various different stages and stuff like this on the kid because of the parents. You're having a few in there from a single disciplinary action that, and they just happen to have a bruise at that point in time. So in those cases, everything usually just gets dropped and says it's no problem. Now, the ones that usually wind up with legal actions are ones that are getting these calls on them multiple times for their kids, or things that are excessive, open wound sores because of scalds or burns or stuff like this. those might be a different situation because it really depends on what's going on. Was the parent neglectful? Were they actually disciplining? I mean, I don't see how you can discipline anybody with a burn. That would kind of seem excessive to me, but yeah. So I mean, stuff along those lines, and that's what the things were done. I'm like, because I know several parents, I know several of them. They're like, yeah, they've had family services called on them before because they swatted their kids' butt in public, and they come out, they're like, what was he doing? And you were disciplining him and correcting him. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, you weren't beating him with a stick. You weren't causing bodily injury. You were doing a corrective behavior to make sure he knew what was acceptably and unacceptable in public, and they left him alone. I'm like, now they still came out to make sure that everything was the way it is. Yeah. 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 See, I mean, now the ones that really get me are the ones that let their kids become disruptive and just blatantly disrespectful out in public. I mean, if you got a kid just flat out throwing a temper tantrum and they're doing nothing and just letting the kid have their way, I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's right. They're like, okay, yeah, you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, well, let's go to the truck. Dude, I mean, you should have seen what my mom did to me once. Now, granted, she didn't just haul out and leave me, so it sounds worse than it actually is, but I'm like, I was sassing her and disrespectful to her and everything else like this. She told me to get out of the car, and she drove on up ahead and left me to walk my butt down the road. She could still see me in the mirror, so she didn't haul off and leave me, but she just, every time I got close to her, she would pull up a little bit further and drive off a little bit further, and it kept me walking for a certain amount of time. And to me, I want to say it felt like 5 to 10 miles, but it was practically only, I think it was like maybe only a mile. She made me walk my butt down the road, and finally she sat there. She's like, do you have anything else to say? I'm like, nothing else to say. Well, I'm like, so, I mean, it sounds like it was horrible, but I mean, she had her eyes on me. She knew where I was. She was watching me the entire time. And she'd do the same thing sometimes to me in the store when I was really, really little. If I was throwing a temper tantrum in the store, she'd walk right off around the corner so she could see me off the,
Did he make you mad?
Security mirrors and stuff like that. She could see me off the mirror so she could see me in the store and see what I was doing, but then I realized I'm throwing a temper tantrum and there's nobody around to see it, and I would stop. And then I'd have to go and look for her. So I'm like, but she did this specifically so that way she would teach me what was acceptable and what wasn't. I'm like, and sometimes it just seemed cruel at the time, but I mean, it made sense. I mean, so I'm like, and honestly, I put my parents through, I just put them through unspeakable torture as I was growing up. And they stuck by me all that time and tried to make sure I had all the help I needed so I could become a productive member of society. And I find
Stopping broadcasting now.